A pleasant morning, PCS Catholic School Senior High community. Welcome to the Principal's Orientation for the school year 2021 to 2022. I'm Mr. Alvin A. Altarejos, your school principal. So for today, I'm going to give you a comprehensive discussion of how the school year will go. I will shed some light to some of your questions. But before that, for the information of everyone, let me give you a glimpse and background of how PCS is built. We started our operation in July 2016 as an answer to the K-12 curriculum program of the Department of Education. From then on, 4 batches have already graduated, and approximately 1,700 students have already garnered their diploma. Our physical campus is located at F. Imson Street, San Pedro, Pateros, Metro Manila, but due to the pandemic, as of the moment, our office is located at the main campus at the former OPS of the junior high school. For the new school year, we have a new school director. His name is Reverend Father Edgardo B. Barameda. As the school director, he manages and creates the plans and executes program for the benefit of the entire Pateros Catholic School community. Other than the school advisor and subject teachers, it is also important for you to get to know the senior high school secretary, of which she'll be able to help you and aid you with various problems that you have in terms of doing business in Pateros Catholic School Senior High. Her name is Mrs. Daryl K. Endingal. Miss K, to everyone, is the one who resolves some issues and concerns in behalf of the school principal. It is not new to us when we hear that school year 2020 to 2021, the former one that is a very challenging one. This is primarily because it's our first year to do virtual and online learning. But with the culture of excellence of Pateros Catholic School Senior High, we were able to triumph and rise above these challenges. The next few slides will be a demonstration of what we have done for the past school year. Last school year, we used MS Teams, Zoom, and Genio as our primary platforms to relay online education. For this school year, it will be the same, however, with much more emphasis now with MS Teams and Genio. Online education did not prevent us from doing extracurricular activities. One of the more active extracurricular group last school year was the PCS Courier. For this school year, they will continue to do write-ups and publish information for the benefit of everyone. Furthermore, for the last school year, our student leaders did not prevent themselves from serving the community despite being online. The Supreme Student Council, headed by Ms. Kim Basaldi, was very active in informing and leading everyone with the whatabouts of Pateros Catholic School Senior High. Much of our online and virtual programs are spearheaded by the Supreme Student Council. If you want to see some of their outputs, you can visit our official FB page. One of the highlights of last year that we hope to continue for the following year is the online shop, online bazaar of PCS Senior High. In here, students showcase their capacity to do online business, work immersion, and various application of knowledge in order to gain real-world skills and ability to relate to other people. We are very happy with the results and products of the online bazaar, such as what you can see in front of you. That's why we will continue that. We will continue doing that for the next school year. The online bazaar serves as a web interdisciplinary PETA for students mostly in ABM, UMS, TechVoc, and Arts and Design. As a Catholic institution, we did not stop doing outreach program despite being virtual and online. The Center for Christian Formation spearheaded some activities that our students participated in order to be of help to those who need more. Last school year, we were able to do outreach programs in Canlungan de Maria, which is a home for the aged. Similarly, we were able to do fundraising for various victims of typhoon and natural calamities. We will not stop there. Being of help to those in need is one of the core values of being in Pateros Catholic School Senior High. For the UMS last year, one of the highlights is the sponsoring of an online virtual fora of which we were able to invite various politicians and icons of the society. Entitled TikTok, we were able to guide them through their adulthood and to be able to be at par with the social issues and concerns that humanities students must be well aware of. For the arts and design, the highlight of last year was the showcasing of their talents via a play known as Kumusta. It's a virtual play wherein students were able to show what a life of a senior high student is under the pressures of virtual learning environment. If you have time, please do watch that in our FB page. And the main highlight every school year is the virtual graduation. We have already shown two virtual graduations, school year 2019-2020 and 2020-2021. Although half of me is hoping that we get back to the physical, I think for the school year it's going to be the same. So pictures, year-end ceremony, documents will be asked from grade 12 students as early as September for us to be able to have a good ceremony at the end of the school year. And so that was our school year 2020 to 2021. Now we move forward to a new school year. For the information of everyone, Pateros Catholic School Senior High is comprised of four departments: the Practical and Performing Arts Department, the Communication and Research Department, the Humanities and Religious Education Department, and the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Department. Each department is spearheaded by a person known as the Subject Area Coordinator. For the PPAD, or the Practical Arts, we have Ms. Jessica Lampa. For the Humanities and Religious Education, we have Ms. Rose Liaco. For the Communications and Research, we have Mr. MJ Zapata. And for the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, we have Mrs. Maridol Galvez. In terms of discipline and logistical movements of our students in the virtual world, we have two people who guide them along the way. They are known as the grade level coordinators. For the grade 11, we have Mr. Brian Cruz, and for the grade 12, we have Mrs. Myra Ison. At this point, I'd like to explain to you the different strands of the PCS Senior High. For the longest time, we have five, but for the succeeding year, we added another one, which is the General Academic Strand. Let me explain each one of them one by one. With specialty subjects such as physical and biological sciences, sided with various disciplines in mathematics, the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics strand is designed for students who would pursue highly scientific and or mathematical fields such as engineering, health and life sciences, and technological studies. These are the special subjects under this track. We have pre-calculus, basic calculus, biology, physics, and chemistry. For this year, the elective is systems programming. The growing demand for future managers and corporate leaders motivated DepEd in undertaking a strand such as accountancy and business management. With strong background in finance, management, and accountancy, the graduates of this strand are expected to pursue higher studies in finance and or venture into real world by setting up their own businesses. The specialized subjects are applied economics, business ethics and social responsibility, accounting, business math, business finance, organization and management, principles of marketing, and business enterprise simulation. The elective for this track is business calculus. The humanities and social sciences strand is created to cater to the students who are interested with attaining greater knowledge in the field of social sciences such as psychology, anthropology, and history. They are expected to be the defenders of humanity in the future. Some of the special subjects of this strand are creative writing, introduction to world religion, creative nonfiction, trends, networks, and critical thinking, Philippine politics and governance, community engagement, and discipline and ideas in applied and natural social sciences. The elective for this track is applied economics. The new offering of the new school year, the general academic strand. While the other strands are career specific, the general academic strand is great for students who are still undecided on which track to take. Students take up electives from different academic strands under this track, so you get a little bit of everything. These subjects include humanities, social sciences, economics, organization and management, and other disaster preparedness. So if you are confused, take CAS. The Tech Voc or Technical Vocational strand of PCS Senior High focuses on food and beverages preparation. It aims to develop the students to be more adept with proper food handling and processing, with culinary arts and baking as skills development focus, and beverage mixing and preparations. Those who graduate under this track are expected to become experts in the food industries. They could become restaurateurs, chefs, bakers, and bartenders. Students under the Arts and Design track are those who reinvent, redesign, and innovate various existing products. Once they graduate, they are expected to manifest and express themselves in the most artistic fashions. They pursue higher design skills via fine crafts and or start their creative centers to further their artistic talent. So some of the subjects that we can find under the arts and design are creative industries, elements and principles of arts, personal and physical development in the arts, apprenticeship and exploration in the performing arts, developing Filipino identity in the arts, leadership and management, and finally, performing arts productions. Expected of them at the end is to create a one full production that will be showcased to the public. Now that I'm already done discussing to you the various strands presented in front of you now are the sections under each strand and the respective advisors together with their email. Please do take note of the section, the name of the advisor, and the email address. For the grade 11, we have 11 sections. And for the grade 12, we have 9 sections. Once again, please take note of the name of the advisor, the name of the section, and the email address of the advisors. The advisor will email their advisory class within the week. Please wait for the letter. The academic calendar for the upcoming school year is pretty much the same with what we had last year. So the first semester, first grading period will be from August until October. The second grading first semester will be October until December. That would be the end of our first semester. Then we'll have our Christmas break slash semestral break. We will resume classes on January and up until February, that will be our first grading for the second semester. Finally, our second grading for the second semester will be from March until April. Year-end ceremonies will happen in May next year. Presented in front of you are the examination schedules for the entire school year. Please take note that in the senior high school, we also have the prelim and the periodic per grading period per semester. Please take note that the number of days for each prelim or periodic might vary depending on the demand of each subject per strand. At this point, let me discuss to you the two learning modalities that PCS Senior High has chosen for this upcoming school year. The first and more popular form of lesson delivery is the online method. This involves internet connectivity and gadgets for the students. Our main platform for the school year will be DWAS Genial Learning Management for the asynchronous and MS Team for synchronous learning. However, we are not limited to that. Zoom, chat, YouTube channels, web, and FB pages could also be used by the teachers. For this school year as well, we have decided to maintain the printed method for those who don't have internet and gadgets. So every given day, we will present hard copies of materials, printed worksheets, and textbooks in studying. So every quarter or every given day, parents would come to the senior high school principal's office to collect the module as well as to submit those that are answered in the module. What if, for example, you have chosen online learning and you'd like to go to the module because of either weak internet or cut connection? The first thing that you have to do is to email us at pcsseniorhigh@gmail.com and state your case. It is required that a parent and official guardian's letter with full name, date, relationship to the student, and signature be forwarded to us that you are expressing your intent to shift the modality of learning. I suggest that this must be done during the last week prior to the periodical test week because there's a little bit of discrepancy in the grading system for the online and printed. That's why we have to close first a grading period before you go to the next grading period with a new learning modality. At this point, let me discuss to you the schedule for the online modality of learning that each section would follow. Please take note that there are synchronous and asynchronous learning methods. For this school year, our synchronous classes, meaning the online classes, would only happen from Monday to Thursday. Friday will be a special day. Students would have no face-to-face virtual classes, but rather a synchronous class wherein they have to accomplish all the forms and all the requirements for the given week. Presented in front of you is an example of a week-long schedule of a certain class. Please take note that each section would have a unique and different kind of scheduling, but nonetheless, some uniformity among all of them. Classes will begin at 7:30 to 8:20 with a homeroom period from Monday to Thursday. Please take note that the blue colored part from Tuesday to Thursday is also the time for the subject teachers to do consultation with the students. So they will be able to answer your queries during the given period. Take note that in the morning, we have three subjects. So that's 8:30 to 9:20, 9:30 to 10:20, and 10:30 to 11:20. It is followed by a lunch break, which will then be followed by the afternoon schedule of varying numbers. At some days, there could only be one, some days there are two, and then some days there are three. But nonetheless, all classes will stop at 2:50 in the afternoon. On Fridays, we have no synchronous or online classes day. So it's a special day for submission of requirements, day of extracurricular activities, and day for special exams, completions, and remediation programs. So basically, our online synchronous learning will be from Monday to Thursday from 7:30 to 2:50. Please take note that each subject, except for PE, would be meeting twice a week. The class schedule given above will be sent by the advisor during the orientation on the first day. At this point, let me proceed with further clarifying some issues and concerns during the What to Expect video uploaded last Tuesday. Let me shed some light to some matters and questions that still needs further explanation. So the first question is, do we need to buy books? Again, in the senior high, we do not require the buying of books. Perhaps you can borrow, you can get second-hand versions of the book, but we do not require anyone to buy brand new ones. For those who are inquiring as to what reference materials the teachers are using, it will be given to them during the first day orientation of what each teacher would be using as a reference material. We believe that there are a lot of free digital resources available in the internet that can be utilized during the online classes. So we no longer ask for the requiring of the physical books. Another question that needs to be further clarified is, are uniforms required? This is an institutional decision, meaning from the grade school to the junior high to the senior high, we are all the same in requiring uniforms for the students. So every Monday, the requirement will be an official Teach 12 uniform for both the male and the female students. Morning assembly will be done during that period, and so the official uniform would be the one that is required. For Tuesday, it's going to be the strand shirt. My dear parents, don't worry because strand shirts are already paid during the enrollment. So instead of giving you P uniform, what we instead will give you are strand shirts because that serves as the natural identity of the senior high. So what are the colors of the strand shirts? For the STEM, it's green. For the ABM, it's yellow. For the humanities, it's maroon. For the tech voc, it's black. For the arts and design, it's dark blue. Only the gas strand will be the one to receive P uniforms because they do not have their identity color and identity icon yet. So please do not worry about Tuesday because it's already prepaid. we will just get the sizes of your children so that we can forward it to the purchasing department and they will give you a strand shirt for free. It's already part of tuition fee. Every Wednesday, uh, it's a free day strand shirt color, meaning whatever it is that's the color of your strand, you get to wear a shirt of that same color. So again, for STEM, it's green. For ABM, it's yellow. For TechVoc, it's black. Arts and Design, dark blue. Humanities, maroon. And for GAS, white shirt. So for Thursday, it's going to be uniform for all, just a simple plain white shirt. We believe that putting in a uniform every online class would somewhat condition the students that they are really attending official classes. This is again an institutional decision from the grade school to the junior high to the senior high of Pateros Catholic School. Another question that I get a lot is, do we need to submit a picture for the ID and what is the ID for? Yes, you need to submit a 2 by 2 ID pictures to the advisors. This will be used for the ID. So you might ask, it's a virtual environment. Why do we need to have ID? It's because, you have to claim a lot of stuff here in school. For the modular people, you have to submit and get modules. For the voucher recipients, you have to claim your vouchers at the end of the school year. Sometimes you have to come here and do businesses such as request of documents in the registrar's office. They will be asking you to bring ID. So the ID is very crucial for various transactions here in the main campus. Another question is, can we pay the tuition fee online? Well, the answer is yes. You have done this last school year, and so you can still do it this year. So given in front of you are the different bank accounts for BPI, PNB, and Metro Bank. Some of you are actually forwarding the proof of payment in the PCS Senior High at gmail.com email. Apparently, it's not us who need the proof of payment. You have to submit those proofs e- both to the advisor and to an email which is shs.pcs.tuition at gmail.com. You need to do that in order to validate and record keep properly your proof of payment and your records at the end of the school year. So some parents are asking me, are there still online promissory notes? Yes, it's a tradition in the senior high, and we don't want to remove that. So for those who will not be able to pay their monthly dues, the advisors would send a Google form link of which you can answer, and that would serve as your online promi notes. So what are the online promi notes for? This will serve as a proof of your consent for us to deduct the monthly due from your ESCN voucher once you receive it at the end of the school year. Another frequently asked question that I come across with parents and students alike is, will there be haircut and hair color policies? Well, the senior high admin is strict in implementing these policies for printed pictures, for the ID, the yearbook, year-end ceremony photos, and other official activities that proper PCS haircut and hair color would be necessary. That means we are very strict that guidelines are actually presented before taking pictures for these very important events. However, on a daily basis, I think we get to be more lax as the primary requirements are just, well combed hair, well groomed face, and then not distracting hairstyle. So sporty hairstyles are not allowed during the normal everyday classes. Do we still have outreach programs and Pondo ng Pinoy? Last school year success of online outreach program paved the way for us to extend our practice to grade 11. So that means for this school year, it's going to be both grade 11 and 12 who's going to do online outreach program. However, Pondo ng Pinoy, according to the Center for Christian Formation, that's CCF, Pondo ng Pinoy would still continue and guidelines would be published in the next few weeks. How many petas are expected this year? Well, one of the things that we are proud of based from last school year's practices is having a multidisciplinary, interconnected, and web PETA. That means every quarter, the students will only do one PETA for all his subjects. So that means that if that's one for every quarter, that's four for the entire school year. So we keep on warning our students that although it's a lot easier in preparation, they have to give it their all in terms of doing it because a low PETA means a low grade for all the subjects that they are taking on that particular grading period and semester. How will the report cards be given? Just like last year, it's going to be online. So once you receive the card at the end of every quarter, that means majority of your marks are actually passing. If you see that a certain subject is blank, it means that you are on the failing side for that particular subject. Will there be parents' conferences and meetings? One of the things that we did develop for the year, according to the request of many parents from last school year, is to have parents' conferences and meetings during the card distribution. Yes, we will have that for this school year, and so you'll meet the advisor about three times this school year. Please make sure that you are free for those particular dates. Is it possible to schedule a face-to-face consultation with the advisors and teachers? Definitely. Again, as we believe, school and home partnership should be there towards a better new normal. However, what limits us to have regular face-to-face consultation is the pandemic itself. Teachers are to report in the campus only twice every week. So most of the time they are working from home. But should you want to have a schedule with them, do not hesitate to email pcsseniorhigh@gmail.com and then email them as well so that we can confer a similar schedule of which we can talk about very important matters about your student. Will there be deportment and character grades? Yes. Later in this presentation, I will show to you what the character grades and what are the behavioral indicators for the character grades. I'll give you an in-depth discussion later in this presentation. Will there still be honors and awards? Just like the depo and character grades, I will thoroughly discuss this one later in this presentation. But the answer is yes. Where can I request certifications and letter of recommendations for university applications? This is a question that is really for the grade 12 since they are about to go to the university after graduation in May. As early as September, October, universities are actually asking for applications already from the senior high school. And so during the early months of their grade 12, one of the things that they have to accomplish is the attainment of various documents for application. For such matter, you may request the documents from the registrar's office either personally here in the main campus or through a request at Pateros Catholic Registrar at gmail.com. So please include the complete name of the student, the current year's grade and section, mobile phone, and type of document being requested. Just wait for their response and they will tell you when you can pick it up here at the main campus. Now we go to the general grading system for the school year. Although subject teachers would give their own individual orientation on how they will be graded according to their respective subjects, in general, what we are following is Debit Order Number 8, Series of 2015, where grades of the students will be computed based on written outputs, performance tasks, and quarterly examinations. So the rubrics in giving grades, if it's a core subject, so what are the core subjects? These are the subjects are taken by all senior high school regardless of the tracks, such as reading and writing, oral communication, general mathematics, introduction to statistics and probability, komunikasyon, pagbasa. So those general subjects that all senior high school are taking. So look at the second column, that will be the grading system for the core subjects. We have 25% for the written work and 25% for the quarterly assessment, but the main bulk would be on the performance task, which is 50%. Academic tracks are those specialized tracks, so please take note, the fourth and the third columns, they are slightly different from the previous ones. They are putting more emphasis on written work and quarterly assessments rather than performance tasks. However, contrary is true for the tech book, of which the biggest percentage is on the performance task. Notice how big the performance task is. It's a value of 60% of the entire grade. So they must really submit their bread and pastry, their cookery output, so that they will be able to attain very high grades for their subjects. Just like before, a student who got an average grade lower than 75 in any subject is considered failed, and so remediation program, removal examinations would be given to remove the failing mark. If the student is non-compliant, we have no choice but to indicate the failing mark. Now we go to the classroom awards pursuant to DepEd number 36 series of 2016. The first one is the classroom awards, of which the top three students with the highest overall average in their respective section for each quarter will be given merit cards. So every quarter we will determine the top 1, 2, and 3 of each section according to their general average. The second award is the grade level awards given to students who have a general average of 90 and above and no grade lower than 85, including the deportment and character. So these are awards given at the end of the school year during honors assembly recognition and graduation. So for them to qualify in the honor roll, the general average should be 90 and above, plus there should be no grade below 85. So pursuant to DepEd Order number 36, series of 2016, with highest honors is 98 to 100. In the context of PCS Senior High, it's called the Bishop's List. With high honors is 95 to 97. In PCS, it's called the Director's List. And with honors of 90 to 94 is called the Principal's List. So again, if the student has fulfilled the two requirements of 90 and above general average and no grade below 85, they will obtain medals and certificates at the end of the school year. They'll be considered as the honor students for the current school year. The highest award that a student can actually obtain is the Strand Award. In the context of grade 12, it's called Strand Valedictorians. These are students with the highest academic average from each respective strand. For this school year, we have added a requirement of the deportment not being below 85 to ensure that the strand awardees are still persons of noble character. So if you want to get the highest award, just obtain the highest average for your particular strand. Now I have come to the new behavioral policies for students in the new virtual and distance education. In this one, I will discuss some of the important matters that the prefect of students would like to discuss with you. These are those that involve behavior and character of the students while studying online. So again, at this point, I'll be discussing some policies on distance and online learning, some online classes, etiquette and decorum. Please remember that online and synchronous classes are considered as academic and official as physical classroom setup. Certain behaviors are expected upon communicating with any or all of the other stakeholders of the school. So despite being virtual, it is considered an official class and an official PCS class. Thus, it is bound by the rules of Pateros Catholic School. First, on the security of accounts, remember that we are giving away the Genio and the MS Teams passwords. So students must remember that passwords must not be shared to anyone. A password change is necessary should another person become informed of yours. So please log out all your accounts if public computers are used in completing the task. Remember, when you answer a task in a given platform, the scores will be recorded under your name. So please take care of your password and don't let anybody know what it is. Some more reminders of the general guidelines. I'd like everyone to be respectful, avoid posting or sharing negative and offensive comments, posts, messages, photos, and inappropriate material. Also, be aware of strong and foul language. Consider capitalizations of, and punctuations, and check your grammar and spelling as well. Remember that what we are doing in school is an academic posting. What we are doing in school is all about being academic and being right and being morally correct. So please be cautious of this negative behavior online. While online, students need to engage in appropriate academic behavior. Please be reminded that handbook policies are still enforced despite being virtual. Also, because we want to maintain academic atmosphere, please take note of the following. We must avoid the use of acronyms, the use of emojis, use of fake accounts, not giving others a chance to talk and communicate, wearing inappropriate clothing during teleconference, sideline chats with classmates during teleconference, surfing other sites other than the prescribed during classes, making faces during classes, and finally disrupting others during classes. Additional etiquettes: communicate only with the teacher during the prescribed schedule and only about the classes and academic concerns. Be cautious when using humor or sarcasm because the tone is not reflected in printed media such as email or discussion posts, and it might be taken as an offensive one. Also, proper credit when referencing or quoting another source must always be done to avoid plagiarism and direct lifting of passage. For group chats, I know you are flooded with messages, but please do back read. Be sure to read all messages in a thread before replying. Do not repeat someone else's post by just directly lifting or without adding something of your own. And also, please go away from posting a lot of okay and noted because it gets natatabunan along the way. So do back read and be ensured that you are reading the latest message in your group chat. At this point, I'll give you some etiquettes and reminders for video conferencing or during online classes. So before the scheduled meeting, first control the video and audio quality of your own gadget and check your connectivity. Second, hold meetings in quiet and indoor locations. Control ambient noise such as people talking, electric fan buzzing, and animal pets making sound. And finally, adjust your lighting. Ensure that teachers would be able to see your face well during a virtual class. So during the online classes, you have to mute your microphone when necessary. Only when the teacher asks you to open it should you put your microphone on. Second, raise your hand when you need to ask something from the teacher. So we have a tool in the Zoom or in the MS Teams for you to raise your hand virtually. So always do that and do not talk just right away. Letter C, always be cautious of your action when you're in front of the camera. You are not allowed to drink, eat, stand up, yawn, or go away if there is an ongoing class. As mentioned, an online class is considered to be an official school function. And ensure that the background is still during a class. Inform your other members that they should not join your classes nor walk at your back so whenever you have classes. And so the most common and most frequent kind of bullying that occurs online is the virtual or cyberbullying. Let me define this to you. This is an act that persists by sending threats, adding lewd or malicious comments, forwarding or publicly posting private emails or messages, blogging about rumors, lies, or gossip, and posting embarrassing pictures of the victim. So one must be cautious if he or she is becoming a victim or a perpetrator of virtual or cyberbullying. So some tips that we can give to our children to protect themselves in the cyberspace. First one is don't cyberbully back. Just report to PCS Senior High at gmail.com any instance of being bullied. Second, refuse to pass on messages or pictures that are not positive, have defamatory content or lies, or come from unidentifiable sources. Letter C, delete suspicious messages from people you do not know without opening them. So please do not spread rumors and lies on the internet because you'll be part of the blame or you'll be part of those perpetrators of bullying on the internet. So what does one do in order to prevent cyberbullying? You have our email. Just report to us cyberbullies and we will do something about it. Trace and have anonymous cyberbullies be accountable for their actions. We are going to do that. On your behalf, please do not give personal information, full name, telephone numbers, address, and password. So you have to protect your important data and information. Furthermore, don't arrange to meet someone you met online. That's a very dangerous activity for you to do. Restrict your friends list and keep your photos and communications restricted. Don't put them in public mode because it will be used against you definitely. If a cyberbully threatens to harm you or makes lewd sexual remarks, what you can do is to print or save the communication and notify your parents, your school, us through email, and then finally, if it's a very serious one, we'll bring it to the authority, to the police. If a profile about you is created without your consent, so if there are fake accounts and your name is used, contact your media provider and have it removed. Also inform us and your family about it, and we will do something about the scenario. According to Brown in 2003, these are the list of major cases that one can incur while having online classes. So there are different types of cases. We have identity theft, piracy, invasion of privacy, economic espionage, and internet misuse. Each type would have different kinds of crimes. For identity theft, we have info theft, illegal account access, internet scams, and impersonating others. For piracy, we have illegal downloading of music, copyright laws for books, plagiarism, and illegal downloading of DVDs. For invasion of privacy, we have reading others' emails, hacking, cracking, phone phreaking, underground chat rooms for conspiracy, conversion of property and CPU theft, and pornography or child pornography. For economic espionage, we have system hacking, creation of computer virus, overloading a website, eavesdropping, spying, and downloading unauthorized data. And finally, for internet misuse, we have abusing internet privileges and misuse of email and other platform accounts. So, what are the repercussions on violations for online classes? We have categorized them into three. The first one is the minor offenses. So, accumulation of minor offenses can actually lead to major ones. And remember that minor offenses would have damages or would incur damages on the deportment grades. For major offenses, the school reserves the right to shift the learning mode of student from online classes to modular or the offline form should the gravity of the case be proven under the major ones. For grave offenses, the school reserves the right to forfeit the enrollment of the student on the spot or could suspend during the course of the semester. And so, just like in a normal face to face scenario, these are the parameters for the grading in a department. We have descriptors such as integrity, cleanliness or orderliness, courtesy, punctuality, attendance, industry and perseverance, obedience in school policies, self respect, and leadership and performance. Notice that there's tweaking, a little bit of tweaking on the online and distance classes. So, you basically have an idea on how teachers, subject teachers, and advisors would rate you accordingly. So please, my dear parents, take a good look of these indicators as well as how it's interpreted during a virtual class. So during this time of pandemic and virtual online community, reporting as soon as possible is one of the keys for us to resolve issues right away. And so should your child feel discomfort in any form, such as bullying, academic problems, community relationship problems, and mental health problems, please do refer them to us via scheduling first through pcseniorhigh@gmail.com. We will answer to your heat, we will answer to your request as soon as we get the email. We have spiritual directors, we have guidance counselors to aid the problem of your student. It's very crucial nowadays for us to give answers and solutions to the problems right away. We are already done with most of our orientations for the week. We only have one left, which is the guidance orientation for tomorrow. And similarly, it's going to be pre-recorded and uploaded in our YouTube channel. So please do stand by. Our next week will be very busy as well. So August 16, Monday, is the actual opening of classes. But the opening salvo will be a PADS online recollection from 9 to 11 a.m. Advisors orientation will happen at 1 to 3 p.m. In here, they will disseminate the class schedule, some various pertinent information. So you have to wait for their email within the week for you to be able to join the orientation on Monday. On Tuesday, the online recollection would still continue from 9 to 11 a.m. But in the afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m., diagnostic exam would happen for the senior high. On August 18, Wednesday, I cordially invite everyone to join the 9 to 11 Mass of the Holy Spirit, sponsored again by the Pasig Diocese. And then diagnostic exam would happen from 1 to 3 p.m. On August 19, Thursday, it's an entire day of diagnostic exam. So we removed that from our tasks to do already, no? The diagnostic exam. And finally, on Friday, the students would have the Genio orientation. I believe that during this week, it's the parents who had their parents' orientation. For next week, it's going to be the students. And on the 23rd, August 23, it's going to be a official uh, class lecture days for all the students. And so presented in front of you finally are the contact information of the PCS Senior High. One of the keys to a successful school year is the ability to communicate with one another between the home and the school. So our paradigm is school and home partnership towards a better new normal since last school year. And we saw how important communication is between the parents and the school. So please, parents, please take note of this very pertinent information. Our email, pcsseniorhighschool@gmail.com. During my free time, it's personally me who's answering your email. Most of the time, my secretary. For the FB, please follow our official FB page for the senior high school. That's fb.com/PCSHSS Supreme Student Council for up-to-date information. We post there various announcements and information that you need to know to proceed for the school year. Also, we suggest that you follow the official FB page of Pateros Catholic School. So just type in Pateros Catholic School. Our phone number 8-640-6016 local 105. Our office is open from 8 to 11:30 in the morning and 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So we'll be able to answer your calls during those times. That's from Monday until Friday. And finally, the YouTube channel, Pateros Catholic School Senior High. Don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be informed of the latest information that we announce every now and then. So thank you very much, parents, for listening. This has been your principal, Mr. Alvin A. Altarejos, saying good luck and God bless your school year.